Welcome back to another episode of Rock Boys Football. Mike Elko, the Texas A&M Aggies, rolling on the recruiting trail, landing their second commitment of the day in four-star quarterback Husan Longstreet from the state of California. And if you're not new to the channel, we've been talking a lot about Hassan Longstreet over the last couple of months. One of my favorite quarterbacks in the 2025 cycle. And to me, the way I look at this one, I feel like this is the quarterback that Mike Elko is really going to build around over the next couple of years. Hassan Longstreet, not only extremely talented from an arm talent standpoint, but also just a gamer. When you watch the film, this is one of those quarterbacks that just feels so in control of the game and a guy that gets the ball out quick. He's on time. He's accurate. There's not a throw that he can't make on the football field. Massive fan of Hassan Longstreet. Want to dive into the film, talk a little bit about what he brings to this Texas A&M offense. Before we do, and as always, just want to say thank you to you guys. A massive shout out to the Texas A&M fans. It has been truly a blast covering this program in the transfer portal, on the recruiting trail. Probably going to be a busy next couple of weeks for Texas A&M in the portal as well. We'll continue to break it down. Appreciate y'all rocking with it. If y'all do enjoy the content, consider subscribing to the channel. And without further ado, let's get into Hassan Longstreet now. Where you want to start with Hassan Longstreet is not necessarily the biggest quarterback out there, although has grown over the last couple of years, almost up to 6'2". This is a kid that has phenomenal arm talent, an absolute howitzer of an arm, but more importantly, can make a lot of different throws. This is a guy that can make off-platform throws, can really rip it in there when he needs to, but also layers it, throws it with some beautiful touch at times. You take a look at the numbers, a 66% completion percentage, over 3,000 yards, 24 touchdowns to only 6 interceptions, has also run the football for over 600 yards. As a junior, you look at the fit in this Colin Klein offense where you are going to ask the quarterback to be an athlete outside of the pocket. Hassan Longstreet certainly fits that mold. And a guy that is almost 200 pounds, you see pictures of Hassan Longstreet. He is really put together. Now, what we're going to see on the film is one, really impressive arm talent. But another thing that I want to note before we turn on the film is this is a quarterback that really balances the ability to create out of the pocket, create off-script kind of plays, but also a guy that's willing to play in an offense as well and kind of play within the confines of an offense. And that's something you don't always see from high school quarterbacks. Either they're not that athletic and they can't create off-script, or they're really athletic quarterbacks, but just do too much creating off-script and don't play within the offense. You watch the film of Hassan Longstreet, he seems really in control, knows when to create, knows when to play within the offense. And I think that is a skill set that is very much coveted at the college football level. It gets the ball out quick, on time. I want to take a look at the film, really talk about what Hassan Longstreet brings to the table. Now, the first throw you're going to see, one of the more impressive throws you'll see at the high school level where you're throwing from the opposite hash, kind of throwing that post corner route here. Beautiful touch. Beautiful accuracy, times this one up really well too, right as the wide receiver is getting out of the break, puts it right on the wide receiver. Again, opposite hash to that corner of the end zone. Really, really impressive throw. The next rep you see Hassan Longstreet doing a little creating. Or again, a attribute of a quarterback that is really becoming coveted at the college football level. Can you make something out of nothing? Hassan Longstreet breaking the pocket, throwing what seems to be a no-look pass across his body, throws it right on the money. That is an extremely impressive. I don't know if he has a baseball background, but I wouldn't be surprised if he was an elite middle infielder during his junior high days. You continue to roll through the film, attacks the deeper third with a quick release, right on time, accurately, pushing the ball 20-plus yards down the field. Really quick release. That's another thing that you'll notice from Hassan Longstreet's game. And he's also an athlete. This is a guy that not only a phenomenal athlete, but he's put together. He's one of those quarterbacks that, you think he can handle some contact in the SEC, almost 200 pounds, quick release, corner of the end zone. That's probably his best attribute. Jaden Daniels threw that ball really well during his time at LSU. When he's working those post corners, he is absolutely on the money, whether he's rifling it in there, whether he's layering it in. And again, quick release, loves to attack the deeper third, really good at attacking the deeper third, but also can exceed and kind of excel in those short intermediate routes as well. I'm a massive fan of Husan Longstreet, and you start looking at the 4 to 5 year plan for Mike Elko. Hassan Longstreet is that kind of guy. And again, you talk about, we pretty much have only seen on the film so far him kind of layering footballs in there. You talk about driving it in there into small windows. I mean, he can also do that as well. Quick release, can rifle it in there on time accurately when you need him to. Really good pocket presence, keeping his eyes downfield, making something happen. Again, that's kind of the example where a lot of this film we've seen him play on script, right? Go through his progressions, get the ball out on time. There are elements where he's asked to maybe be a little bit more creative. He can certainly do that as well. Kind of back shoulder fading away, finds his check down and makes an explosive play. This is a quarterback that shows really everything that you want in a starting quarterback at the college football level. Guy, I could watch him throw deep balls all day long. Really, really impressive stuff. You take a look at what Texas A&M is doing on the recruiting trail. I'm a massive fan, and you're seeing Mike Elko blend using the transfer portal and recruiting the high school ranks at an extremely high level. That was one of the biggest questions that we had for Mike Elko, is can he recruit at Texas A&M coming from Duke? We've gotten our answer, right? Closing with guys like Terry Bussey in the 2024 class. You look at what we're doing in the 2025 class, going to be a top 20 class once you add a guy like Husan Longstreet into the fold, dominating the state of Texas. And kind of talking about dominating the state of Texas, let's do a little talk on Marcus Garcia, who, as a Michigan fan, I mean, I'm a little bit disappointed he's not winding up in Ann Arbor. But for Texas A&M fans, I mean, I think y'all got a really good one here coming from Denton Ryan. I mean, this is obviously a powerhouse of a high school program. More importantly, for Marcus Garcia, 6'5", 270. You start breaking down the athletic profile of Marcus Garcia. He is an AAU Junior Olympic champion in the discus throw. Lower body power for days with Marcus Garcia. And you see that show up on the film. 6'5", 270, not necessarily the filled out frame that you want to see. Does not lack any power or explosiveness coming off the line of scrimmage. I personally see him as a guard at the college football level, but certainly the athleticism to play tackle. And that is a massive conversation we've had with Texas A&M. I've been kind of on record saying if this Texas A&M offensive line figures it out in 2024, this is going to be a really dangerous team. But Mike Elko, I mean, knows what it takes to win at the highest level in the SEC. You're seeing him really prioritize the line of scrimmage on both sides of the football. Marcus Garcia is certainly one of those guys that is going to be a staple in this Texas A&M offensive line for the next couple of years, a guy that can play guard, can play tackle. I'm fired up about what Mike Elko is doing on the recruiting trail. Husan Longstreet, a guy that we're going to be talking about for a long time in College Station. Really, really good pickup. Appreciate you guys rocking with the boys. Wanted to hop on, give a little update on what Texas A&M is doing on the recruiting trail. Appreciate you guys rocking with it. Again, if y'all do enjoy the content, consider subscribing to the channel. Appreciate you guys, and we'll talk to y'all